What's up, everyone? It's the most wonderful time of the year. Sorry, I'm a horrible singer, but I do love Masters Week. Augusta, uh, sorry, that I think was my YouTube playing in the background. That's why you exit out of those things. But we are here to talk the Masters, golf's first major, the annual trip to Augusta National. Jim Nance said it best, an event unlike any others.
A tradition unlike any
Damn
other.
it. I knew I screwed that up.
You're so close.
Between the singing and the misquote.
I'm off to a rough start, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's the pressure of the Masters. Everybody feels it.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's more
Not looking
about.
good for Tiger.
We'll get to that later, but you're gonna be very proud, Alan. I'm not gonna mention Tiger Woods with my plays, bets, etc. at all. Now, will his name get brought up in some trends and stuff? Of course, he's Tiger Woods and it's the Masters, but I think I'm evolving as a human being. That I went away from Tiger even for just a minute, and it is definitely a tradition unlike any other. I'm gonna fix that. Thank you so much. I need to check. Hope I didn't do that in my article too. But anyway, I'm Keith Flemming. You know Alan, aka Actively Lazy 85. Well, actually, you may not know him if you haven't been on Fantasy Six Pack or just started coming to Fantasy Six Pack because he's been MIA, doing his thing for ESPN Richmond. But we are very happy to have Jay Hendley and Ryan Mulvey from ESPN's Inside Drive on ESPN Northwest Florida Radio. That's Panama City. What's the other cities? I hear y'all say it every day, and I still forget them.
Port St. Joe.
Okay. Well,
the Apalachicola area, home of the world's best oysters, formerly.
What do you mean formerly? They lost
because Georgia and Florida are in this big water rights battle. So Georgia cuts off the flow of the water, the Apalachicola River. The oysters don't get enough fresh water, yada, yada, yada.
Man, science is a bitch, dude.
I blame Jay.
I do too. Was this about the time that Jay moved down there?
It's probably pretty close.
Wait, Jay moved?
Well, I'm talking about he was up in my area. That's how I met Jay first. And then he moved down to Panama City. And I just wonder if there's a direct correlation to the oysters not being.
Does the Apalachicola River run through Griffin, Jay?
Well, the Chattahoochee. All right, so the Chattahoochee runs the hooch runs from Columbus.
Is that Alan Jackson?
Yeah, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee.
There you go. See, look, I knew a country thing.
It gets hotter than Hoochie.
All right. Well, as you can see, we get a little off the rails. We're all buddies. I'm sorry. We're going to talk the Masters today. So when I was preparing my article this week, I didn't do a course preview, which normally I spend way too much time talking about the course, the layout. We were kind of mentioning this briefly, but you just skipped that this week, right? Like you should, if you're watching the Masters, I hope you kind of know the venue. Yes, there's been a few changes in the last 3 years. Lengthen 11, lengthen 15, lengthen 13, and now they're lengthening the par 5 second. So they're definitely making it harder. But other than that, I think it's more about like the key traits of players who have success and then trends, right? Because this is the same event, same venue every year.
100%.
Alan?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's the same thing over and over and over.
I just want to make sure because, sometimes you come at me later and I'm like, man, I tried.
I'm going to come at you later. I'm still doing some last second data.
I like that then. Well, I will get going. All right. So these are kind of the keys that I have, and I want you guys to add, or if you want to elaborate on any of these, go right ahead. The first one is experience matters. There is plenty of data out there that in years 4 through 10 of Masters appearances is the peak number of total strokes gained for players at Augusta National. Now, this makes sense just from, the standpoint of 4 to 10 years of playing at Augusta. If you don't get into your first one to your 25, 26, that's basically the prime of your career, right? Like once you get your 36, 40s, it's hard to believe your strokes gained are going to go up. But I think this venue more than any that we gamble on, do DFS, etc. Anytime there is a tiebreaker, I want to know who has success at Augusta. It's why Fred Couples, 25 straight years made the cut at this event?
I think he's tied with Tiger, right? Him, Tiger, and one other person are tied at 23 or 25 straight cuts, something like that. And if Tiger makes the cut this year, he'll break that record.
regardless if he withdraws over the weekend. There you go, Alan. There's my shot at my boy Tiger Woods.
Jay said it on the air today. He said
Jay's
if he
a
makes
hater.
it for the weekend.
What did I say?
You said that you didn't know if Tiger was going to withdraw before the cut even happened.
Oh, yes.
Now, he'll make it through Thursday, Friday. All right, so experience is a big deal. Second thing, this is a ball striker tee to green golf course, and there's two things that encompass that. Number one, this is a driver's course. You hit it's so long now at Augusta, you hit driver off basically every tee. I mean, almost everybody in the field hits driver off every tee, which is really crazy when you see some of these guys in like the 90s and early 2000s hitting 3-woods on par 5s, but that's kind of where the game has headed, to where they've just had to lengthen it so much. The other is just 75% of approaches come from 150 yards or further. Over 50% come from around that 200-yard number. So it is so important that somebody has a strong mid to long iron game. And something that has changed recently is used to, right, there was this thought that you had, or it was an advantage, let me put it that way, to work the ball right to left, right? Like, I mean, most of the holes dogleg that way. It makes sense. These guys now hit the ball so high and so far, thanks to technology and, thanks to the changes with the driver and the golf balls, that we saw last year. Rahm and Koepka, they were bombing cut drivers all over Augusta National, and they ran away from the rest of the field. So I think now it's more about just how high can you hit it and how far, rather than like your shot shape, which used to be a popular thing. Don't you think?
Yeah, well, and that's too why DJ has had so much success is when he went through those swing changes and learned how to hit it cut. He hits the ball as high and as far as anybody. And when he started learning how to hit that controlled bomb cut, he just started playing really well at Augusta and went on that dominant stretch of golf that he had. So, yeah, I 100% agree. It sets up for a drawer, but if you can hit a high, long fade, it's a lot more controlled.
All right. A couple other things real quick. Obviously, we know scrambling, creativity, and the scrambling strokes gained around the green, we got to talk tight lies, because these are the tightest lies you will ever play from. I look at like Hideki, who is number one right now in strokes gained around the green.
Yep.
That I'm going to talk about him later. That is why he's one of my favorite plays this week. But it's not just the scrambling. This also gets, when it comes to the creativity and the game plan, it's also not just about where to hit the irons when they're correct. It's where can you miss. And why I think even though Scotty Scheffler is plus 450, I understand people betting on him this week, because I don't think there's anybody better in the game of thinking their way around a golf course, really playing smart golf. And, oh, by the way, his caddy, just since 2012, has now been a part or on the loop for 3 Masters victories. So if you don't think that's a little bit, is this the girl?
Sailor.
Right?
Sailor.
Sailor? What's she going after, Jay? It doesn't look too PG right this moment.
Yeah, that's Sailor.
Did you get the blue pen off her?
I tried. She just got out of the bath, and there's still blue pen. The solar eclipse, man, it got her.
They say dogs take the personality of their owners. It's good to see that this is true with Jay. And then one final thing that I really looked at was par 5 scoring. I mean, I know that's, they're the 4, or not, I don't know if they're any more than the 4 easiest holes. For a long time, they were the 4 easiest holes on the golf course. But just like last year, Koepka and Rahm were top 2, obviously finished first and second. They were top 2 in strokes gains on par 5s. The previous year, the first 4 on the leaderboard after Sunday, Scheffler, Cam Smith, Rory, Shane Lowry. Guess what they finished in strokes gained par 5s? 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got to take advantage of these par 5s. These are some of the toughest par 3s and par 4s anywhere. You're not going to win this event without dominating those par 5s. Anything that I left out of big picture for key traits that you guys leaned into or like to lean into?
I mean, it's a year where PGA Tour has new winners. Jake Knapp, you got all these guys coming out. There's not enough. I don't know about the data on those guys, but the LIV guys are playing the worst they've ever played in the 2 or 3 years that the LIV's been going now. So, I mean, I think it's like a crapshoot in my opinion. I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards some of the newer guys that's come out on tour, like the Jake Knapps and the first-time winners this year. That's
Hey,
just my
Keith,
thought.
hit him with the last time or the Masters tournament had a
Well,
first-time
I was
winner
just
in
gonna,
their first. I mentioned it on the air today multiple times.
I was gonna say, and leave it for the Master Winner trends, we'll get into a minute. But since Jay, go ahead and talking about first timers. If you like first timers for DFS or prop bets, by all means, there has been some guys that have had immediate success there. To win, there's probably better places to look. The last time a first-time Masters player won the event, 1979, Fuzzy Zeller. That is not a good sign for those hot first-time betting favorites. Ashley Beate, Ludwig Adberg, Wyndham Clark. It takes experience to get around this golf course because you can hit a shot that you don't feel is that bad, and you put yourself in a position where a double or triple is a very easy score to make, and you just leave. I mean, you'll see it all this week. Players just walking off greens going, what the hell just happened? And that's because, again, of the undulation and just the green complexes and the runoffs around it are unbelievable. And I really think it takes time. Now, one of those guys could have an unbelievable ball striking round, buck that trend. But 1979, that is a long time. And there's only been
older than Jay.
There's only been 4 in the history of the Masters that have won in their first appearance. So, Ryan, you got anything that you want to add before we move on?
Just kind of expanding a little bit on what you were talking about. And I believe when we had Phil Shomo on the show last week, I had asked him the question, why are there certain guys like Rory McIlroy, Greg Norman, who have been the most dominant in a stretch of golf as any in their career? Why can't they get it done at Augusta National? And he had said something that he said that golf course was designed to penalize the best players in the world for the smallest mistakes possible. And that's where you're talking about experience matters, because you're going to hit bad shots. It's just taking out the disaster of, you miss 11 by a foot, you're looking at a double bogey potentially. And that can happen on so many places on that golf course. But also, like you were saying, if you're ball striking and you're hitting 80% of your greens, it's going to be a lot easier to play. It's just knowing where to miss. This golf course is probably the most important golf course that these guys will play, where knowing where to miss is how you win the golf tournament.
And I will add the caveat of, yes, if you're hitting a lot of greens, that's good. But because of how far the approaches are into these greens, the proximity numbers are going to be closer to probably 30 to 50 feet for most of the guys in the field. I've never played Augusta National. I've been there many times. I don't think there's any 30 to 50 foot putt on Augusta National that is called a gimme 2 putt. Nope. So, again, you need experience. You know how to lag these, what putts are really fast, which way they're going to break. And just, again, all these greens are lightning fast. Alan, anything you want to add before I go over a few more trends and then we'll get into the betting card?
Yeah, just that trends are made to be broken. So I wouldn't read too much into it. Just go with your gut, because it is wide open, honestly.
It is. Again, though, it's very rare for not only a first-timer to win, but also somebody who has not been basically a betting favorite for the last about 15 years. There's been a few, but not many. A few other Masters trends that I looked at this week. I mentioned the Fuzzy Zeller, last player to win this event in his first appearance, 1979. About 10 of the last 11 had a top 30 finish in their previous 2 starts. One of their previous 2 starts prior to the Masters. The one exception, do y'all know who it was? Last year's winner.
Ooh,
John Rahm was in awful form. If you remember,
trends were meant to be broken, Alan.
Yep. And so now, granted, I would argue that Rahm is one of the best players in the world, so trends don't really apply to greatness, but fair point. All right.
Never heard of him, actually. Where does he play now?
Dude, you've been on Rahm since when he was still skinny.
He's dead to me.
All right.
Oh, come on, Alan. You love
him.
He's not Jay. He's not like Jay.
Yeah,
he's hating the Live Tour, man. He's already admitted to it.
I don't like it, but I have Live names on my list, so it's fine.
The first 2 defending champions of the majors are both Live players.
Yeah. I know Alan's not going to discriminate because he loves money. That's his form of love. So, all right. 7 of the last 10 winners had a win in the calendar year leading into this event. Even kind of more crazy, 3 of the last 4 had 3 wins or more. That was DJ, Rahm, and Scheffler. So if you remember, Rahm got off to the really hot start last year, and then he kind of stumbled for about the month leading into Augusta, and then he won his fourth event like a madman. All right. Only 3 players have won consecutive Masters in tournament history. Nicklaus, 65-66. Faldo, 89-90. Tiger Woods, 05-06. Not a good sign for those betting Jon Rahm. And I know that I just was talking about these things don't really apply to greatness, but there's been a lot of great winners in the history of the Masters. I think it has so much to do with they have to do the dinner. They have so many responsibilities as Masters champion. Ask Rory in the last year what it means to be the spokesperson in the face of something. And that is basically what Jon Rahm is this week at Augusta. I think that plays a huge part in why, again, only 3 in the history of the event. And then the final one, which I ultimately was my favorite bet this week to win, did not go with this trend, but I really have a feeling we're going to get someone winning this week who has won a Masters before. 14 of the past 34 Masters winners had a previous win at Augusta National. Most recently, Tiger Woods in 2019. That was 5 years ago. Before that, Bubba Watson, 2014. That was 5 years ago. And there is a plethora of players in this field that have won Masters before. And I'm not even just talking about the top of the leaderboard, that it would not, or excuse me, top of the betting board, that would not shock me if they ended up winning this event. And again, it's such an event about, just experience and your past performances. Alan, anything you want to add? Any trends or anything you have?
No, should be a premium on past winners. Even if I think somebody's going to win the first time, course experience does matter. It's in every article, and even the players say that. Like you want to know Augusta National before you play.
You got to learn to play it, right? Like, I mean, it's a course you literally have to see and experience, I think, to understand. And I do believe it's such a mythic figure in the game of golf that a lot of guys, their first few traps, they're just in awe, right? Like, because you're playing practice rounds with people you idolize growing up, some of the older Master winners that are in the field. It's just, it really is truly a tradition unlike any other. And like I said, I did not change the bottom ticker. All right, the betting card. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Hopefully we'll get Ryan back in a minute. I don't know what happened to him. Scotty Scheffler plus 450 to win. I get the odds are disgusting and crazy, but I think they may be justified. No. I'm like, no.
This is like a real field, man. Like,
is it a real field though? No.
I can't get behind that with Rahm.
How many players?
Brooks and all these other guys in here. Like, this is the best golfers. Like, what golfers are we missing right now in this field?
Yes, there is the best golfers, but unlike most PGA Tour events, which, I mean, I do think that there's something to this too. You have 100 guys in the field that could win the event. Seriously.
Yeah.
Half the field in here has, maybe more than half the field, I think has 0 chance to win this event. I just feel like plus 450, I'm starting to come around. Like, let's put it this way. I'm not going to bet it because of our rule. I do, though, understand people that want to place this bet because he obviously won the event in 2022. Last year, he finished 10th. He lost 4 strokes to the field on the greens. That is how good his ball striking was last year. His ball striking is equally as good this year. We've seen improvements in his putting. He's arguably one of the best short game players off tight fairway lies in the game of golf. His caddy, again, Ted Scott, been a part of 3 Masters. The players was the example to me where I'm like, I'm scared of him even in big fields. The players had a ton of good players in it. Did they have all these names? No. Alan's absolutely correct about that. But they had big names chasing Scheffler, and he just meticulously took them out by just playing really smart textbook golf. And if he gets off to a good start, I think he's got a great chance to win. His game's perfect for this venue. He's patient. He's smart. Excels scrambling. I mean, he's the best long iron player in the game. He's arguably just the best iron player in the game. And
he's also had his moments of mental weakness too, with like the occasional yip putt and inexplicable inconsistency when it comes to that.
But the thing is, he's still finishing top 10 in all those. So if you're giving me a chance at plus 450 on a venue that I know he does well, I think he's going to at least be in the top 10. And if he has a chance going into the weekend, who knows what happens?
I just feel like they should, like the odds should be closer to 8-1 in this field, not plus 450. Like I'm taking that as disrespect to the rest of the field for real. I mean, that's what I would expect seeing him at like what the Shriners or something like that, not the Masters, man. Like even Prime Tiger was around these odds, Prime Tiger, and I just don't know if like I know Scotty's great. I just don't think he's Prime Tiger like that intimidating. You know, he's a winner, but I just think it's too low. I just think if you were telling me like 7-1, 8-1, something like that, I probably advise jumping on it now. But plus 450, like, geez, man. Like, if he's that good, why are we playing? That's what I'm saying. That's what it says to me.
So I was going to go to Ryan, but as you can see, he is frozen in time right now. But we hope to get Ryan back. And, you know, that handle of Florida, Jay, the internet connection. I don't know how you got a good interconnection in your recliner in your apartment. And, you know, in the high rent districts that Ryan lives in yet, we don't see it.
No, that's because Ryan's got kids, man. They're probably all pulling on his internet.
That is very fair. That is
true. I go through that on a regular basis. Trust me.
Well, I appreciate you, Alan. You probably just taught me how to making a Scheffler bet that I would regret.
No, I don't want to talk anybody out of it. Like I'm no expert, and I've been on the show for like 2-3 weeks. I'm just saying, like odds wise, that's one thing about like gambling. When you look at something, sometimes you got to ask yourself, am I getting fair value? Like plus 450 against a field like this, it's like Vegas is just scared to lose. And if they're scared to lose, then why am I betting it? Like, is he that much of a lock? I don't think he is. So I'm going to wait. I know I can get this at 6-1 at least 6-1. Like especially with the weather starting like it is on Thursday. And like, who knows how it's going to play a little bit. They got some wind coming in on Friday. There are some variables in there where you could get some unpredictable play. And Scotty's going to be Scotty. I expect him to overcome all that, and I still expect him to contend. But I don't think, like, plus 450, I didn't see those numbers for Rahm and Koepka when they were on their winning run last year live until, like, the very last round.
It's the consistency, though. He's so much more consistent than even Rahm and Koepka at the peak of their powers because his ball striking numbers are only Tiger Woods at his peak has better like ball striking off the tee, strokes gained approach numbers. You're right, I think, but I just think it's overvalued. Don't get me wrong. He's good, and I'm not trashing him from. No, I know you're not. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Yeah, this is from a
betting standpoint.
Yeah, from a betting standpoint, I just think it's overvalued.
Yeah, when you have all these other guys.
Yeah. And the main reason that I can say that I am still thinking about taking Scheffler is because they're giving me Brooks Koepka at 20-1. This is insane. Like I've been staring at DK Sportsbook, Divots and Pivots. Since then, he's been lights out with the putter. That's kind of what I'm thinking. He just looks so much more comfortable with that mallet putter. And that was really his only issue for the last year.
That's a fair point.
Koepka, though, I mean, good God. Like, I don't understand it. Can we all agree, right? He is by far the baddest mofo in big tournaments in the world, right?
In majors, absolutely.
Well, that's what I mean by big terms. I'm sorry. Yeah, the majors.
But Keith, what's his one bugaboo?
What's his one bugaboo? I actually am curious. What is his one bugaboo?
You just wanted to say bugaboo.
Slow play, apparently. Let him tell it.
Oh, you want him to get stuck with Cantley? Is that what you want, Jay? You dick. All right, so Koepka's 20-1. Explain this to me. He hits the ball a mile. We saw last year what a healthy Koepka at the Masters does. Reminder, he's had 2 runner-ups just since 2019 at this event. In major championships since 2017, 5 wins, 11 top 5s, 13 top 10s. And his mid to long iron game is great. And even more exciting for me, if you look at his putting numbers last year at Augusta, and now it's actually 3 of the last 4 years he's played there, they've been really good. And if you're telling me Koepka's going to make putts, especially the kind of short to medium range ones. I'd be shocked if he's not in contention on Sunday. Is this the best value on the board?
I would say him or Hideki.
I would love to say it is, but I don't have a lot of stats and stuff to look at because of Liv. I get so mad about that, man. But I mean, yeah, based off history and what I know about
hold on now. Last year, we came into this event.
And I was mad about it last year.
But you were behind him 110%.
Yeah,
and I touted you for weeks.
It's the question that you just asked me that I'm answering. I'm still behind him, but you were asking if it's the best value. I don't know because I can't really formulate. Like when I think of value,
so you said Scheffler plus 450, bad value. What about, we know Rory is 10 to 1. Okay, Rory 10 to 1, bad value.
Yes, but these are guys that I've watched play on a regular basis. And I can look up their stats and things like that.
How about Rahm? 12. How about Rahm 12 to 1 then? Because he's plus 1200. That's the three that have lower odds.
Based on what I was reading, it sounds like it's probably not the best play right now. But
okay,
my issue with Liv is that from a gambling standpoint, it's not as accessible stat wise. Like I'm a big stat person when it comes to golf.
Do you want me to send you? I have somebody. I think it's from.
Well, no, I got a website that I found that's been. Do
they have the strokes? I was just going to tell you they have the snapshot of the strokes gain numbers of the guys in the basically in the Masters field.
It's like datagolf.com or something like that.
I mean, now granted, this is against live players, so it's not an apples to apples comparison. But to me, it's still like if they're elite at something, I don't really care what tour they're on with big names on it. It obviously shows that they're still doing that pretty well. Are y'all both on Hideki? Because he's 25 to 1. I have him on my betting card as well.
I think value-wise, out of guys that I think got a shot to win, I think he's one of the best values out there. I mean, strokes gains around the green, he leads. That's paramount in the Masters. He's won the Masters before. He won at the Genesis earlier this year. I just really like Hideki in this one.
Alan?
Yeah, I think Hideki's got a good shot. You'll know about Hideki with after the first round. You'll know what kind of Hideki you're getting. That's usually what I say anyway when he plays. But I think the last time he won, wasn't there like some weather involved and he kind of surged back?
It was a very wet Sunday.
Yeah. So I don't see any rain in the weekend forecast, but it's going to start out rainy. I think it's like a chance.
Yeah, that Thursday is going to be pretty rough. They may not even get the first round in on Thursday.
Yeah, which I hope they. Because then they can. That's what they're talking about. If it rains overnight Wednesday into Thursday, they can't use the subsystem to basically suck all the water out. To where, if say it stopped in the afternoon Thursday and they just don't play, they'd have all that time to get it out. And all reports have been the course was as firm and fast as it's been in a long time. But it does, obviously worry with all that rain coming in.
I saw some double-digit wind up there, like high wind gusts and things like that. Like those are the conditions that I feel like Hideki over the last couple of years has shined in the most. So I think it's again familiarity and just setting up condition-wise for him to make a run.
His average finish since 2015 at the Masters is 13th, 6 top 15 finishes since 2015, obviously that includes the win. And then the big thing to me is just the first on tour and strokes gained around the green. If you watched him at the Valero last week, he hit some rescue shots from tight lies that I've never seen Hideki hit. And if he gets hot with his irons and he's kind of learned how to putt well at Augusta and he can kind of, scramble and save those pars when he misses greens, I really like him. Jay, what do you think about Hideki? I know he's not live, so you should be pro him, right?
He'll be up there at the top. I mean, there's always one Asian that's up there in the top 10 at Augusta, and he's one of them.
I'm going to be sure to put that stat also in my article. One Asian always in the top 10. Let's go anywhere you guys want to go kind of in this 20 to 30 range. Somebody give me a name you really like because I actually go up a good bit before I get to other players that I would be betting on this week.
What do y'all think about Ludwig? Do you think he's got a legitimate shot? I mean, this is his first major, right?
It's his first Masters and first major, I believe. He did not play in the U.S. Open last year, right?
Yeah, because the Ryder Cup, he was chosen for the Ryder Cup.
That's right, and he never
played in a major before. He's the first player to ever have that happen, I believe.
I just am concerned about to win again. I don't like it. His game fits for this golf course very well. Very good long iron player. Obviously, nobody hits it as high and as far and straight as that dude does. Now, if you're saying like you want to do a top 5 prop or, like say use him for DFS, I love that. I am kind of going to probably follow, the rules, the ones that have been, so long standing. Again, 1979. It's just like, well, I'm not back, like not even really considering Rahm this week when 3 people in the history of the Masters have won back-to-back tournaments. What is Adberg's odds at right now?
The sheet I got's got him 28-1.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's a great value, right?
I mean, not for somebody
Masters.
that's never won. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he's won a bit, but
again, overvalue. Like that's
overvalue. That's much better.
Overvalue. He's never won. He should probably be up in that 35-40 range, if anything. Like, has he won any this year?
He's won one event, yeah, in the fall series, yeah.
In the fall, yeah. So he hasn't even won one this calendar year. Which, again, we're talking about somebody going into their first win. Like, you got to see a little bit more. So
you need the experience and the knowledge, of course.
He's on my list. If there was a guy that I was like, hey, he hasn't won yet, but he could buck the trend, I would have picked him to do that, and he's on my list as one of those.
I would take Wyndham Clark if that's
Wyndham's on here too. So there you go. Like I got 2 people that I was like, yeah, they could buck that trend. Actually, 3.
Clark is the one I was real close to actually being like, screw the trend. I'm going anyway.
Is another one that's on my list that I was like, yeah, he could buck the trend. You never know. So what I would do in a situation like that.
Tagala's his second start. He finished top 10 here last year.
Yeah, but he's never won though. Is my thing. So like what I would think is, or what I would do in this situation, rather than stretch myself too thin, banking on somebody to buck a trend, I would put these guys in a separate list, and I would pick one guy that I feel really, really confident about, and then the other ones, if I can't make up my mind, I prop them, because again, we're talking about risk reward. It's not worth it to throw out a list with if you got 6 bets and 3 of them are guys who've never won. You're likely not going to get any of that. So sometimes we can't shake the itch, right, Jay? When we're betting, we can't shake the long shot itch.
That's right.
Put them in a list and be
check it twice.
Yeah, check it. Run your numbers. Do like what I do. Like I always have a tiebreaker stat that I use. Like if I got 3 guys I really like, well, this is the one attribute that's going to be my tiebreaker. Identify that and then pick from there. And then again, prop the other guys so you can at least keep an eye on it. And then maybe later you can be like, dang, I knew I should have bet that. But that's the only way to not kill your bankroll in a tournament like this.
All right, let me interest you guys, or can I?
Real quick, I don't.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
But Jay made a funny point, which is actually a cool thing. During these majors, they do split you by nationalities and things like that on prop.
Yeah, you can bet.
So like him saying like there's always one Asian. Hey, look, if you bet, like, because I used to do this, I used to always find the Korean golfers, man. I love my Korean golfers, and I would always find like just take a stab at one of them to finish higher than like Vijay Singh or something like that, because he's in the Asian Pacific area or whatever. Like, just take a shot at something like that. If you're into those deep props, there will be some stuff out there like that that you can bet. Best Asian golfer, best European golfer, best Scottish golfer, South African,
the best live tour golfer now too.
Yeah, so all that is available. So it's funny that Jay mentioned that, because I usually use that to hedge.
And I promise you that is exactly what Jay meant when he said that. Can I interest any of you guys in DJ?
Yes, absolutely.
35-1. Well, I know you're a Coastal Carolina guy. So
but he just plays that golf course so well, and no one's talking about him because he's on the live tour.
So 5 top 10 finishes at Augusta since 2015. Obviously, we know he had the win in 2020. Actually was runner-up the year before in 2019. Still lead off the tee. What's kind of shocking, and I don't know, again, we'll figure this live stuff out as it comes, but he's in the elite category, putting strokes gained this year on the live tour. I think that's a really good sign. And the other thing I like is, some of these guys, it was a dumb narrative. We saw it broken immediately last year with Koepka winning the second major and competing in the first one of the year. But can these live guys compete? DJ, 2 top 10 major finishes since leaving the PGA Tour for the live tour. I feel like that this is one of the better values on the board, especially if he gets that driver going, forget about it.
If he was playing on the PGA Tour consistently, he'd be down there like 20, 22
At
to
least,
1.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Alan?
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I'm just looking at the number, and I think that's fair value. One way you could look at it too is you look at the guys around him at that range, and I would say he's leaps and bounds more likely to compete and win than everybody else at that 35-1 range. And there's like 6-7 golfers at that 35-1 range, and he stood out the most when I was looking at the list anyway. So that's another way to look at it too. If you're ever trying to figure out value, look at the guys that he's around. You know, like Ryan said, he probably, if he was PGA, he'd be in the 20-something range. So you're getting good value here. And you can't tell me Matt Fitzpatrick, Justin Thomas, Bryson DeChambeau, Will Zalatoris, Wendell Clark, and Viktor Hovland, Tony Finau, Patrick Cantley, those guys, if we put them all on the list, DJ's going to stand out when it comes to the Masters. So it's a little disrespectful to have him right there.
When it comes to the Masters was the key part of that.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I put that in there.
He's played in so many of them. He knows that golf course. He's won there. Obviously, he won in the COVID year when it was in the fall. But yeah, if I were to do a matchup bet between Justin Thomas and DJ, I'd take DJ all day long in that one.
All right, question then, because y'all brought him up. Zalatoris. I mean, 2 trips to Augusta, 2 great finishes. He's one of the few guys that, and I mean, we've seen this happen before where if somebody plays well in their first appearance, they usually have a lot of success in the Masters, near after. That's a good thing, again, for Sahith Theegala, who Alan was talking about, he finished 9th in his first trip there. But the thing about Zalatoris at Augusta, to me, is crazy, is how well he has putted both years, which has been by far, Jay, his bugaboo has been his putting.
There it is.
He fixed his putting a little bit this year, at least statistically speaking, since he's, changed putters, gone with whatever ugly contraption he's working with now. No hate, you got to just make putts. That's all that matters. Does Zalatoris interest any of y'all? Because I think he's also like right there on that 35-1 range, right?
Yeah, that's what I see, 35-1. My concern with Zalatoris is he hasn't been back long enough since the injury to play in an event like this and compete at, with a chance to win. I think he's played well at Augusta in the past, which is fantastic. He knows the golf course. He putts well. But what happened to him last year and the injury and being out for that long, it's just I wouldn't trust him in this particular tournament because of the timing of it. That's my thought.
I get that.
I got a conspiracy theory. Happy Gilmore 2 is based on Will Zalatoris as the lead.
He's the caddy?
Yep, he's the caddy that turned pro golfer.
I love it.
So he's going to win the Masters, and they're going to put that in the movie.
I have never thought about that until literally you said that it's a true story, and I'm going, oh, my God, he's the freaking caddy. There's another guy in this range, and I know you guys are going to probably make fun of me, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to – I know, but I mean, really, I have a justifiable reason to make fun of me. Alan's going, I always have justifiable reason. Cameron Young, 50-1 and plus 850 to top 5 to me is extremely intriguing. I'm going to bet it. Arguably the best driver of the golf ball on the planet. Finished T7th in the Masters last year. That was only his 2nd career start. Most importantly, gained strokes around the greens and didn't lose any on them. That's a big deal for him. We have seen some guys who are historically are not great putters or even wedge players. For whatever reason, they actually excel at Augusta. Don't really explain it. But the thing for me and why I think he's a value at 51 and plus 850 to top 5, T8 or better in 4 of his last 7 majors played. And that's not even all the majors that he's made either a top 10 or a top 5 in. I keep saying it. This guy is going to win a tournament. This guy is going to win a major. He's too good. Tee to green. I think he's a real value at 50-1. Love also the plus 850 top 5 pop. He don't have to improve 2 strokes. I think if he drives the ball the way he's capable, at minimum, he's shooting 6-7 under on this course for 4 days.
This is the same guy that was at the Valspar and almost won and choked. That Cam?
Did he choke?
I mean, pretty much.
He was leading, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was. But I mean, didn't somebody go low on Sunday?
He missed some short putts coming in.
I was gonna say there is a thing about guys who just don't know how to win, and you look at his career. I'm wondering if he knows how to win, and that would scare me the most. Like, he's a great golfer, but like whenever I hear golfers talk about, you're just waiting on to see if he knows how to win and things like that. Rarely do I see it at a course or in a field as tough as the Masters. So I'm scared to bet him just on the basis that he would get a lead coming into that Sunday and just fall apart. Like I feel like that's a high probability that he'll fall apart. And the fact that he's at 50-1 and I would put him at 50-1 makes me know that it's a sucker bet too. So I'm like, rarely am I right on with Vegas. I'm like, wait a minute. Something's not right about this.
30th in strokes gained total, 17th stroke gain off tee, 15th strokes gain approach. And what I like is he's actually putting pretty well this year. Scrambling is 69th, which that's in the green. Putting average 44. I know, right? 44th. And the 3-putt avoidance is something I really leaned into this week on guys like him. He's done a good job of not 3-putting this year. I know these are different greens, but I like it. I understand, again, because, some people are calling him Scam Young. I think that's a little unfair, but to Jay's point, but did you win?
He's not Tony Finau bad.
Oh, that's unfair. Finau's won several events now. Come on.
Yeah, but before he won those events, he was Mr. Second Place. Trust me, my bets show it.
Your boy Xander's Mr. Second Place, yourself.
I don't want to talk about that either.
I didn't think you did. All right.
I want to talk about Jay's boy and why he's fallen off the world and gone through 3 swing coaches in the last 3 months and has not finished anywhere near the top of the leaderboard. And
Who are we talking about?
Viktor Hovland, Jay's boy.
Yeah,
he has just fallen off a cliff this year.
35-1.
I would swap those with Cam Young. At 35-1, I think what Alan said is what do you call it? Overvalued.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Poor
Jay?
Victor.
What happened,
Your
Jay?
boy. Yeah, that's
He's a
your
nice
boy.
guy.
I don't know. He's
He's not
searching.
taking gummies.
Plug your website, Jay. That's where he needs to go, man. You can help him. Plug your website.
There you go.
He's searching.
So when you say searching, and again, let me just give you some stats of why I think that Brian made a perfect case, but he is 142nd on tour this year in scrambling. He has regressed big time around the greens. 111th in scoring average. Like, there is some strokes gained tee to green, 135th. Yikes.
He's falling off a cliff.
Not a good course to be entering with those kind of issues. All right, let's talk about another one of Jay's favorite people. I know how much he loves Patrick Reed. And man, do I love Patrick Reed this week. 65-1 to win. You're getting 5-1 odds, the top 10. He is the exact kind of player that I think of when I think of these guys that just keep showing up at Augusta, these former winners, and just putting in good performance. Yes, I'm talking about you, Bernhard Langer, Fred Couples. Like, just they know how to play the golf course. Maybe the best bent greens putter in the world. Elite scrambling around the greens. Obviously won here in 2019, but it's what he's done since. Well, I love that 5-1 top 10 bet. And again, I don't mind throwing 65-1 odds on him. Top 10, 3 of his last 4 Masters, including what a lot of people would think a very wet Masters last year that would not play into Patrick Reed's hand. He finished T4th. The firmer and faster the course plays, the better it is for Patrick Reed. We saw that at his win. Really, I think in the last Masters, it was completely dry and played really firm and fast in 2018. I love Patrick Reed. What do you guys think?
Any other course besides Augusta National, I would say hell no. Or if it was a Ryder Cup. But I mean, he how many times has he played Augusta National? 1,000,000 times. He was also there too because he went to Augusta State at the time. So he's played Augusta National 1,000,000 times, and he's that cocky of a fella. If we were talking about any other tournament, I would say absolutely not. But I think that what was the top 10 prop?
It was 5-1.
5-1 seems fantastic for him to top 10, given his history, even since he's made the switch over to the Live Tour.
Right. 4 out of the last 6 top 10. Jay, this literally could be from you, and I want you to say this tomorrow on the air. I think my favorite long shot bet is Patrick Cantley because you can't lay better odds than that for him. I'll see myself out now. Do you get the joke, Jay?
I do.
All right. I love Jay Hendley.
Can't lay.
Is there any other guys we haven't talked about, Jay, yet that you like or even if it's just rooting for this week that we haven't mentioned.
Nobody's talking about Cam Smith.
I don't like the fact that he withdrew from his last live event and hasn't started a golf tournament in nearly 2 months. That's a little concerning even for somebody with his skills, right?
But at 30-1, is that good value?
Alan?
Not if he's hasn't been like consistent. If there's a risk for injury, like you just withdrew and you didn't play for a couple months, I would need some kind of positive reporting of, hey, he looked good in his practice or something like that before. Because what was the reason why he withdrew? Was it a back issue?
They said it was a precautionary withdrawal, I believe was the words that they used, which basically means we'll never know what the fuck happened. He may have just been like, screw this, I'm heading to Augusta.
Yeah,
too. I mean, it is, but I don't like that he has not played but one competitive event, or excuse me, I haven't played any competitive events since like the first week of February. That was a long time ago.
I would be a little hesitant, but I'm seeing him at 40-1 on DraftKings, and that makes sense then.
I know.
If he hasn't been that active.
To Ryan's point, that's getting into the range where it's like, well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Again, hey, same thing I always say, for situations like that, I would just live bet it. I mean, it's not going to go down too much. Plus, you want to take a look at him, make sure he gets through that first round or looks like he's moving pretty well on his first couple swings, and then just take a shot on him then with a live bet.
All right, one more guy, and then I want to do, if y'all got any long shots or props that you want to, quickly go over. But I really like Siwoo Kim this week. He's 60-1. I believe he's 11-1 to top 5. He's made the cut here a gazillion times in a row. I think it's now 7 straight Masters. Only one finish, I believe, outside the top 25 in those 7 years. But the big thing is, I think 8 of the last 11 winners have been averaging 1.7 shots or more strokes gained tee to green in the 3 months leading into the Masters. The only name on that list that would shock you, Siwoo Kim, who is having an unbelievable year. He's top 10, par 5 scoring average, strokes gained total, strokes gained tee to green. He's like 30th strokes gained approach. His scrambling's been better this year. And this is a course that really kind of fits his game. Do you guys love, hate? What you think about that?
Let's see where he is in Jay's world. Yeah, he's plus 400 top Asian behind Hideki at plus 130, Jay.
Yeah, I like those odds a lot.
He's got the second best Asian odds out there.
Yeah. But also
not my Asian.
I was gonna say I like Sung Jae Im. Sung Jae Im's hung around in the last previous Masters.
He's great. Well. Yep. And he's another one of those guys that in his first year competed and finished second.
I like On.
What?
Yeah. The hyphenated last names are key.
Yeah. I meant to mention when we were talking Hideki, Allen.
Yeah.
Does it concern you at all? Because we've talked about this many times. Is the time to bet Hideki is when everybody's fading him.
Yeah.
And his odds are juicy. And I'm going against that, betting him at 25-1.
Well, I mean, he was just he won at 70-1. You're not going to get much. You're not going to get much more than that to start out.
What I mean is, it seems like events that everybody is like, "Ooh, Hideki, I like Hideki this week," and a lot of people are saying that. Numbers. Yeah. That's usually when he really shits the bed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If he seems to be a popular name on a lot of lists and stuff, I would stay away too, because that is usually when he plays bad. It's for me personally is when I'm always like, I guess, and then he does well. So. Because I had him on my list that in his win earlier this year. And he really was 70-1. And I still don't understand why he was 70-1. Like, I get if he was in bad form, but geez, I ain't never seen him 70-1 bad. Like, that's crazy.
If he wins, I hope his translator is better than Shohei Ohtani's translator.
He probably pays his translator.
Depends on who they're betting on.
Oh man, that's going to be another sequel, Hangover 4, the Shohei Ohtani.
The worst lie ever told, man. God,
it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. All right. Any long shots or props that you guys really like that you want?
Tiger Woods plus 150-1.
What's his odds to make?
I was joking.
That made my day. I'm writing it down anyway, Alan.
Oh man, heck no, I'm not messing with Tiger Woods to make the cut. let's see, make miss cut. I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, I was just curious because I think that would be I mean, he's like I said, he's going for the all-time cuts record at Augusta, so he does have something to play for there.
Plus 120 to make the cut, Tiger Woods, and to miss the cut, minus 165.
So Vegas thinks that he's going to miss the cut.
Yeah, they do. And I would say it's because there's a day in there where it's cold, rainy. It's going to be
Thursday is going to be brutal.
I think Ryan made a really good point, though. He's going to drag his body through those first 2 rounds. He wants that record. I mean, he wouldn't have played the second round, I don't believe, last year and started that third if it wasn't for the record. How about Sergio Garcia, 110-1 to win?
Hey, he played good down there at, and I know it's the Live Tour, and they only play 3 rounds, but they were playing the Blue Monster at Doral, and that is a very difficult golf course. And he went into a playoff in that event. He ended up losing, but still was playing some good golf. Sir, I mean, he's done it. I just don't know if a guy like him, kind of in the twilight of his career, would be able to win at Augusta with how much more demanding the golf course is than when he won it.
His ball striking numbers are unreal. Again, looking at the strokes game. But I mean, it's he kind of fell off after when he won the Masters. Almost like he exhaled and his game went to shit.
Well, he was the guy that never won a major, and then he finally did.
Correct. And in the last year, we've kind of seen an uptick, maybe, being on the Live, not having as many commitments and as much travel. Don't forget, the last major he played in, which was July, right? The U.S. Open, T25th. And then he's had a really good Live season since then, both the end of last year's season, beginning of this year. Again, winners, 14 of 34, repeat champions. Sergio is not. I mean, he's younger than Tiger considerably. So Tiger's 48, I think it was, making 44. He's still in that range that we've seen winners. Again, if you're looking for a long shot, I don't hate that. A few props real quick. I want to mention that I missed. Thigala plus 800, top 5. Again, to finish top 10 in your first Masters is such an accomplishment. There's a good chance, to Alan's point, he comes out and balls. And the other one, Hagstead, the amateur, he is 25-1 to top 20. Now, he missed the cut in his second appearance here. That was 2022. 2017, he finished 35th in his first appearance here. One of the greatest amateur players in the history of the game. It's been a long time since somebody who definitely could have turned pro and made a living as a professional golfer said, no, I'm going to win like 8 mid-amateur championships and a bunch of other amateur events. This is his third time to Augusta. We talked about how experience is so important. A guy that's already had a top 35 his first trip. I'm getting 25-1 odds for a top 20 when he's obviously been playing really well. He's won back-to-back mid-amateurs, I believe. I kind of like that, again, at 25-1 to top 20. Any other long shots or props you guys got?
You know one name you guys have not mentioned that I'm baffled at?
Yeah.
Especially y'all being the Georgia boys that you are.
Hendley.
Brian Harmon at 60-1, or maybe higher in some other books. I mean, he's played very well at Augusta. He's a left-handed golfer. Left-handed golfers can set up nicely at Augusta National for hitting that cut, and he's been putting really well, and he knows that golf course.
You take the left-hander, but what about Lucas Glover? He finished hot last year. He got the putter hot last year. 250,000-1 odds to win it. I mean, he played.
He means 250, not Reed.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, 250.
I gotta say, put $1 on that for me.
But I mean, think about the high draws that he hits. I mean, high draw
big old balls.
High draw on 5, high draw on 8 on his second shot. 9,
it's a right to left golf course for sure. I mean, it's 13, still an advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 6 or 7 holes that you have to draw the ball, and he is a perfect drawer of the ball. You add the putting in, if he gets the putter hot, dude, that is a hot bet right there.
What's his top 10? Do you have that one on the top of your thing there, Keith or Alan?
I can find it in 2 seconds.
Who are we talking about again?
Lucas Glover. He's 250-1 to win. He has won the U.S. Open.
Top 10 would be probably around
10-1.
10-1.
10-1
Yeah, they don't let you have any fun anymore. Shit pisses me off.
Anyway, we did all this talking, but Joaquin Niemann is going to win the Masters. So
I like that. Yeah. I like that pick.
So what is his current odds?
His odds are
28-1. Is that what you got him at?
28-1. Yep. He's the first name on my list.
Can you just go into a little bit? Because I mean, if you feel that confident, I'd like to hear a little bit more.
Because I said so.
All right, I like it.
He's always been a good ball striker.
Value.
And he's playing probably the best golf he's played in a long time. And even when you look at his stats, even though it's a lot of live, it still stands out as a top 10 golfer in the world right now. But I do believe he's like number 7. Yeah, he's around like number 7 from what I see. And I think he can handle the course, like all the little variances we talked about with the rain and the wind and even the pressure. Like I think he's built for it. And you talk about guys who find a way to win. He's proven that he can do that. And so I think we used to joke about him being like baby Sergio. So I really feel like he's going to scrap his way into a win here.
He is, I think arguably like right there with Rahm and Cam Smith, the biggest losses of the PGA Tour. Because Koepka's
biggest losses to my pocket.
Well,
why you keep talking about PGA? Enough. PGA ain't struggling as much as I am over here, man. He just destroyed all my prop bets and everything, man. I rode Joaquin Niemann for like a year and a half, and I was quiet about it too. Didn't even hype him up. I was like, I'm just gonna keep winning. I'll talk to you in private and tell you, oh yeah, I put this on him and etc. I felt betrayed. All right.
Well, eventually, I think they're gonna get it worked out. I thought you were gonna say Russell Hendley when you said Georgia boy. Hendley has never finished outside the top 15 since his first Masters appearance. That is 5 straight top 15 finishes. Obviously, from Georgia, UGA players. He's been playing Augusta for a long time. That's actually the Bulldog. If that's a bet, a UGA guy that I like the most this week is Russell Hendley. All right. Unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because we have been doing now, this is the 4th straight major, right?
Yeah, because we picked up with the PGA last year.
So we do a draft. You can pick, and we go in order. We'll figure it out. Ryan's going last this time, damn it. I'm tired of him winning.
I think I went last a couple of the times too before.
No, what a jerk. What a jerk. So Ryan has won the first 3 majors. I think it's been because he's been the most pro live. No, I'm kidding. What's been your strategy for these, Ryan?
Pro live.
Okay. Fair enough. So what we do here is we pick 6 golfers. 4 scores count. What did we agreed last year, right? +5 is if somebody missed the cut. Like if you have, say, 3 people miss the cut, one of them's got to count as a +5, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. So let's let my big buddy Alan. We'll give him the first pick.
If he doesn't pick Neiman, I'm walking off.
No, I'll pick
then
Neiman.
Me, and then we'll go with the 3-time champ going for his Ryan Slam
and everything. I'm multitasking, but give me Neiman.
He going right away with it. All right, Jay Hendley. Any guy on the board other than Joaquin Niemann?
Ooh, let's go. Wyndham Clark.
All right. I am not
the trends.
Damn it. You know what? I didn't think about this. You going last is an advantage because you get the 4th and 5th pick, and Jay's taking one of those first 3.
Look, that's your fault, not mine.
I know. I'm an idiot. All right. I'm going to take Scheffler just so you can't have him, but I really am not happy about these 2 picks.
That's fine. I'm going to go Brooks and Matsuyama. Back-to-back Masters winners are tough. That's why I'm not picking Rahm.
Amen to that. Those are really good. I kind of want to take your boy just to be, you know what? Screw it.
It's nice to see you come over to the dark side.
Who, me?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Pick that DJ boy.
You want me to take DJ?
I thought you said my boy. Who's my boy?
Well, I was actually talking to Alan. I was thinking about taking Xander.
My bad.
But
Don't let me persuade you.
I'll take DJ. I'm good with it. Jay, that means it's your pick, buddy.
Oh, it's my pick. Oh, gotta go Viktor Hovland here. I know he's struggling, but he's gonna take the
your first 2 picks are the most J2 picks I could ever imagine.
Jay's like, we're bucking a trend that's going,
yes,
on over 45 years, and I'm taking a guy that's just in terrible form, but he believes in the talent, and that's why I respect you.
Hey, believe.
Jay Hendley. Alan, you got 2 picks, bro. Who you want?
Take
Dang,
your
man.
boy.
I'm mad about DJ because I was gonna take DJ. Whenever I'm quiet, I'm just hoping you guys just overlook stuff. Give me Will Zalatoris because I got to because that's my guy, and then Sahid
Tagala. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, you make me feel so good that you struggle with Sahith Tagala because when I say Morikawa or all the other
There is an
mispronunciations
A
that I
on
do,
the end of it, not an I. So
Morikawa.
that's a little different.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Morikawa. All right, Jay.
All right, let's go with Nick Dunlap.
Just so y'all know,
I don't even have to cross that off my
the first
list.
time it wasn't the first time, was it? No, it was because it was the PGA Championship. The first time we did this exercise, Jay's last pick was Shatuk, right? She took your money, didn't he?
You were so close to picking a PGA guy that could have got you in
Oh
there.
my God. All right, this is ridiculous, and I feel dumb, but I got to do it. I'm taking Rahm.
Yeah, I was surprised nobody did. I was surprised Allen didn't. That was used to be his boy anyway.
All right, because again, I don't like Rahm to win, obviously because of the back-to-back deal, but he's too good. All right, Ryan, you got 2 picks.
Ugh. Do I stay away from the Northern Ireland man that I will say will never win a Masters?
Oh, if you don't, I'll take him coming back. So
will he contend? Well, I got back-to-back picks, so I'm going to go with Aberg and McIlroy.
Got man, Captain America is basically Koepka for you, right? All right. Speaking of Captain America, I'll take Patrick Reed.
I like it.
Jay?
Jake Knapp.
I think you're just trying to pick like the biggest underdog team ever.
I can't wait to see your team on the Masters pool for ESPN Northwest Florida's Inside Drive entry.
Yeah.
And I want us to know how many pars you were predicting. Like, I just need you to send that to me. I'm not going to copy it. I just want to know what your guess is. That's all. Because me and Ryan spent considerable time trying to figure out a number, and I know you're just going to guess something.
Can I say it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I picked like 4,700 pars.
Okay. All right.
Is that in the ballpark?
Mine was 3,096, so
really a little high, but yeah. I think Ryan's a little high too, though. Or at least I'm hoping so.
Okay.
All right, Alan, you got 2 picks. Who you got, buddy?
Tony Finau.
Oh, good pick.
That's a good pick. Yeah.
And Jason Day.
Ooh. No, that's my boy. It hurt not to take him this week, too. All right, Jay.
Oh, wait. Dang it, man.
I'll let you change it.
Can I change it? All right. Yeah. Tyrell Hatton.
Oh, that's who I was going to snag on my last pick.
I was like, wait a minute. How did I forget my guy? I got a list. I have a side list of people that I always pick because I like them. And obviously, you guys have taken all of them. But
he's fiery.
Yeah.
All right, Jay Hendley.
All right, I'm going with the Frenchman that looks like Sergio Garcia, and that's Matthew Pavone. Matthew Pavone.
You got a little French in your family tree there, Jay? That was impressive. Say that one more time.
French.
No. The last name, dum-dum.
Pavone.
I'm pretty sure the settlers went right to Griffin, Georgia when they came over from France.
I'm positive that's like immediately where they went. All right, I talked up Cam Young all episode, or at least for the 3 minutes we discussed him. Give me Cam Young. And Ryan, you got 2 picks again, man. We're putting you in the middle next time. When you win your Ryan slam, you son of a bitch. Yeah.
No, you're making it. You should have made me go first. It would have been better.
He's gonna be Phil Mickelson.
You took him. I don't want to pick him, so I'll leave him there. That's Schauffele. I'm not sold on him.
Could you be any more depressed about a guy that's had a very good track record at Augusta National?
I know. I'll leave him for Jay not to pick. I'm going to go with Brian Harmon, and then why not Bryson DeChambeau?
You didn't take Xander?
Nope. Left him for Jay. Or you.
Are you going to take him, Jay? Because I will let him bypass it. No? Well, I'll take Xander.
No, that's not. That's too good of odds to win for Jay to take.
I'll take Xander then. You said DeChambeau and
Harmon.
Harmon, thank you. All right, Jay, you got one more pick so far. Your team: Wyndham Clark, Viktor Hovland, Nick Dunlap, Jake Knapp, Matthew Pavone. Who you got?
This guy's always in the top, man. Always. Shane Lowry.
That is a very good pick.
The Irishman.
He waits to the very end, It's impressive. All right, Alan, round this thing out.
Rounding it out. I don't even know why, but Patrick Reed.
I've already taken Reed.
Oh, you already took him good. Cool.
Take my boy. Take Tiger.
Makes your decision
Take
easy.
Tiger. Take Tiger.
No, I'm not taking Tiger. I was too far down, man, when I was looking at the odds. And I was like, I'm actually trying to win. Give me Tommy Fleetwood.
I can't believe, Tiger, I get not getting picked. I am surprised that the lefty, who, again, when we're talking about guys with track records at Augusta National, nobody took Phil Mickelson.
I was thinking more Bubba Watson over Phil Mickelson, but
nobody took Jordan Spieth either.
no.
Which is also surprising. I don't really like Spieth. It's nothing he's done to me personally. He's a great golfer.
I would hope so.
He just drives me crazy. I don't know, man. He did look at me that one time when we saw him in the airport. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so the teams real quickly. We'll start with the freaking 3-time defending major champion, Ryan, going for his Ryan Slam. He's got Koepka, Hideki, Rory, Ludwig, DeChambeau, Harmon. A lot of power in that group. I've got Scheffler, DJ, Rahm, Patrick Reed, Cam Young, Xander. Jay has Wyndham Clark, Viktor Hovland, Nick Dunlap, Knapp, Pavone, and Lowry. And then Allen with, I love this team, the young guns, really. Willie Z, Neiman, Thagala, Finau, Hatton, Fleetwood. Again, 4 of 6. If you listen to Jay and Ryan on the Inside Drive, we mess with each other about this week, next week. It's a lot of fun that we have, and we're sick of Ryan winning it. So hopefully we get a new winner. All right, let's plug some stuff, and then we'll get out of here. Alan, got a lot of cool stuff going on ESPN Richmond. You want to share?
No, I'm tired, man.
I'm
trying to get a break.
You ask me all the time about Tristan and where he gets it from. It's payback. It's pretty clear, yeah.
But I'm hosting. I'm hosting Friday from 4 to 6, so you can listen to me on the 106.1 ESPN app, or you can give us a call 804-327-0888. I have nothing planned, honestly. Plus,
can I call in and trash the host?
I mean, you can, but anything I would actually say, because it's Monday, is going to be dated by Friday. So I usually just wait until Friday morning to just go over things and then do it that way. And all we've got going on here is just charity stuff, man. We're winding down just for baseball season, just kind of letting everything relax.
By the way, in Virginia, carry the Braves games, which I think is just amazing on the radio station.
Yeah.
Jay, tell us about Jay Hendley Golf.
Golfwithjay.com. No, I got a lot going on at Bay Point. A lot of private lessons. Summer junior camps coming up. We're already talking about summer, believe it or not. Other than that, man, just staying busy with golf lessons. And
how's your golf game?
I don't play a lot of golf, it seems. But
you're playing Friday, though, right?
Yes. Yep. Playing Friday.
Spoken like a true sandbagger.
Yep. What are you getting, 6 strokes? Ryan, I know you've got some really cool people this week on y'all's radio show from Augusta. You want to plug some of those?
Yeah, we're having a fun week. Again, like you said at the beginning of the show, ESPN Northwest Florida, and tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock Central Time, we'll be joined by the Augusta National Women's Amateur Champion FSU golfer Lottie Wood, and I cannot wait to talk to her to get inside her head on what she was thinking after she bogeyed 13 and made that fantastic par putt and then birdied 3 out of her last 4 holes, including back-to-back holes on 17 and 18 to win arguably the most prestigious women's amateur event out there.
And one of the most impressive Masters wins ever.
That was awesome.
Watching. I mean, the putt on 14, I just love that she said in the post-round interview that I kind of relaxed after I made that. I felt like it's going to be okay. It's like, I could tell you birdied 3 out of the next 4 holes and hit 3 of the best drives I've ever seen.
And she could have easily birdied 16.
Yes.
I mean, she hit a fantastic putt on that hole, and it just stayed on the high side.
So incredible stuff. And then you had they can check it out on your YouTube, right? You had a longtime Augusta media member on today, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. You can go watch back any of our shows on Facebook, YouTube, or X. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. But yeah, we had Ashley Brown on today. He used to do the play-by-play for Augusta National for WGAC 580 AM, which was the local Masters coverage there. But we got a couple other guys coming on this week as well that are heavily involved with the Masters in Augusta, Georgia.
As you can imagine, it is a sports show, and as you can imagine, it leans heavily into golf with its name, Inside Drive. Highly recommend it. As you can see, Jay and Ryan are very entertaining. Alan's okay. My golf article will be out sometime tonight, tomorrow, where we'll kind of go over my official DK lineup and then give some of my favorite bets and props, which if you listen to all this, you'll know a lot of them. And then really excited, heading down Friday for a golf tournament with two of these goobers. And, you know, bringing my dad. Chuck's going to be on the loose. He's already asked me 5 times what time we're leaving, driving me insane. It's like the same time that I told you the last 4 times. And he keeps going, well, I'm retired. You know, I don't have nothing to do. I'm like, I'm aware of that. The rest of us have jobs, so we can't just leave at like 9 in the morning. Afterwards, you can't check into the house, can you, Ryan?
I mean, there's nobody in there until you guys
No.
check back in.
That's not what I wanted.
Okay, no, you can't check in until 4 p.m. on Thursday.
I was going to say, because that was like my backup was you can't even check in. So anyway, we're looking forward to a lot of fun down in Panama City with some of my favorite people. Alan, I enjoyed going to the Braves game with you last week. Appreciate you hooking that up, even though I think we broke Strider, but that's okay. We will be back. I don't know how much we're going to be able to do regular golf episodes. Alan is just – I mean, he's big time now. And I'm not even saying that to be like sarcastic. I mean, I just mean he's got a lot on his plate.
It should slow down a little unless I get assigned to the Kentucky Derby, and then it'll be,
which we want him to, because
that would be that would be great, but
yes.
But I mean, I can't do any more red eyes, man. That should kill me.
For those that want to, again, if you're listening to this part, who the hell cares? Alan came down, went to the Braves game, had a great time, and I swear to you, like, I knew it was early, and he did text me, to his credit. You know, like, you'll read something and your brain just doesn't process it. And all of a sudden I go, hey, what time do you want me to take you to the airport in the morning? He goes, probably about 3:30. And I said, so say what? 3:30 in the morning? And it's a good thing we did, because Alan, the concourse was closed.
Bro, the concourse was closed. TSA pre-check didn't open until 4:30. So I had like 45 minutes to get through.
You guys, you played for that.
I walked to the side where I was supposed to go, and then they're like, "Oh, this is closed until 4:30." So I had to walk all the way back across the airport. And anybody's been to Atlanta's airport, it's huge.
It's
massive.
huge.
So I'm freaking out, and then I get all that. I get through. I'm like, okay, I did good. I'm beside a baby on the way down, so I didn't get any sleep. Then I get back on my flight to Richmond. We had a connecting flight to Charlotte. The flight to Richmond, same baby, right next to me.
You're kidding me. You didn't tell me that part. I knew about the baby the first time.
So I volunteered. I told Grandma, I was like, look, man, I was like, she's screaming because
give me a shot.
Her ears are popping. I was like, I have some really good headphones. I was like, if you don't mind, I was like, I'll put them over her ears. I was like, just feed her. I was like, she'll go to sleep. I was like, I did this with my son. Same scenario. She listened. I got 45 minutes of sleep. I get to Richmond.
And you were a hero.
Yeah. I get to Richmond. I get in the car. I go because I got a remote like at 4. I'm thinking, all right, just pack my stuff up and go. I get in and everything's just haywire. The computer's not working. We got the horse race remote. We got this. We got that. I ended up working until 4. And then I had to do the remote from 4 to 6. So I had to stay for the games. So Saturday, I didn't sleep until about 12 at night.
Ooh.
Yeah,
just
that
for
was
the
my
record,
That's why I
fell back asleep at about 3:50. I think when I got back to the house after I dropped down off, did the whole I'm going to sit in the recliner, watch a little TV. I'm going to stay up, until my golf round at 8. Yeah, I was back asleep in like 2 minutes and woke up a little late, but still made my tea time. So, but anyway, this has been a blast. I love all the people on the screen right now. A lot of amazing stuff on Fantasy Six Pack right now. Their baseball, DFS, and gambling content winning a lot. And really doing some cool graphics and stuff on the website. Be sure to check that out at fantasy6pack.net. Almost screwed that up. Be sure to download ESPN Richmond. You can also download ESPN. It's 104.3 for yours, right, Ryan?
Yep, 104.3 in Panama City and 101.9 in Port St. Joe. But you can also download our app or just go to espnpc.com and click listen live. And you can always go back and watch any of the shows.
The apps are great. Alan's on usually in the mornings. He is
7 to 10.
7 to 10. And I love that even the hosts have realized I think he's more entertaining than I am because he's getting you more and more involved with every episode. But a lot of great stuff. We appreciate y'all. Have fun this week at the Master. If you're going to it, I'm jealous. Bring me back a hat. We'll see you guys soon.